y'all, it's Sadie at Blissfully Sweet Design Co. and today I'm going to show you how to sublimate a shirt. So, not only will we be making a shirt, but I will also give you some tips and tricks to help you throughout the way, things that I've learned over the years, and let you know what materials you need to do this yourself. Let's go design. Okay, these are the shirts that we're going to make today, and I'm going to go ahead and hop on my computer. I don't know if you can see that, but I'm going to hop on my computer real quick and get this ready to send to the printer. Now, if you do not have your own printer and do your own transfers, this is totally fine. You can always buy transfers instead of having to do this yourself, but I don't. I print them, so let me get to that. Okay, that's been sent to the printer. While that prints, I guess we can get the shirts ready. So, today, what I want to show you guys is how to print something on white. Y'all, me and white have a love-hate relationship. I absolutely cannot stand white. And I'm going to show you how to sublimate on a pink shirt. That way you can see what I mean by the color dyes into the fabric. And there will be some pink on this design, so we'll just have to see how it turns out. But that way, if you didn't watch my first video, go back and watch. It's about what is sublimation, how does it work, that kind of thing. I'll link it up above, but that way we can see what exactly it is like and looks like to have a pink on a pink. So, when this gets done printing, we'll move over there. Okay, so we've got our transfer that was printed out. Now, I will tell you, whenever I started, and it is a good trick, but I have issues with this press that I'll talk to you about in a little bit. So, for me, I cut these out. But a lot of people say tear around them and it reduces the press lines. But I'll kind of go over with you and just show you my little tips and tricks that I do in just a minute. But you see, nothing fancy. I just cut around it. The reason why I do cut around it pretty good and don't just leave it is because for a little while there, my printer was leaving ink on the edges of my paper and I did not know it. And so if I would just cut the square and put it on the shirt without making sure that the corners run around it, then I was getting a line, like a box, wherever the edge of the paper was, on my shirt, and you definitely do not want that. So I'm just going to cut these out. Okay, so you'll see my heat press is right here behind me. My press, I don't remember what kind of press it is, but it came from Heat Press Nation. And the day before the year warranty was up on it, it started acting funky, and it was almost like it had a light spot in the middle of the press. And I contacted them about it. I was freaking out, like, oh my goodness, because I figured it would take a little bit for them to get back in touch with me. So I was freaking out, and they came back and they were like, oh, well, you just need more pressure. So if you see me, I really don't think that you need this much pressure, but for my heat press, I guess I'm due for a new one. I will use a ton of pressure, and I don't know. So it's already set, it's already on, it's already hot. We have it at 400 degrees, and I do shirts at 45 seconds. Now, you can, if that's too much, if your press is burning your shirts or scorching your shirts or anything, you can drop that down to 375 for 60 seconds, and I do that on certain materials. It just kind of depends. But for t-shirts, honestly, I'm just impatient, and I do 400 for 45 seconds. Alright, so I got my shirts, I got my transfers. So let me just show you. Okay, we already said this, but we're going to do white. Oh, my heat press cut off. It's been on too long. I'm going to do the white ones first, and I'll let you see how those look, and then we'll do the pink one, okay? So let's see, which one do I want? I'll do this one for this transfer. Okay. A big thing for white t-shirts, y'all, you have to lint roll it. You have to lint roll and lint roll and lint roll some more. And then when you think you're done, you lint roll it again. Because if there is any little lint spots, then it will come, it will show on your shirt. And you don't want that, because it seriously, like, can ruin a good shirt real quick, especially if you forget to lint roll it all, which I have done. But one trick that I found is I'll pre-press for 5 seconds instead of 10 or whatever other people recommend, because then by the 5 seconds you can see where you still have lint, so lint roll it again, and then it's not permanently, you don't have that permanent fuzzy thing on your shirt, okay? So what I'm going to use is, I have a pressing pad, pressing pillow, whatever you want to call it. So I put the pressing pillow in the shirt, but then I also use paper. Now I have issues with humidity in here. Let me grab my scissors. And so that just seems to be what works for me better to not get the ghosting that you can see, which is where the image kind of fades out around the edges. So I use paper on the inside. I do this every time. Now, if it's like something super thick, like a sweatshirt, you don't have to use both. I mean, I don't. A lot of people don't even use both, or they only use one, or whatever. But okay, so I have my paper on the inside on top of that. Now I'm going to pre-press and see if I left any lint on here. Alright, y'all, I told y'all this heat press, I'm due for a new one. I have this old dirty pot holder, ain't that what it's called? Pot holder, that I'm going to use to hold this thing, because as you see, my husband keeps tightening it and it just keeps loosening up, and I feel bad bothering him. I can't ever get it tight enough, but I'm just going to hold that on there and I'm going to push it down. Okay, my pressure, it seems good, so I'm going to leave it where it's at. If it ever feels too loose or too tight, I just loosen it at, during the pre-press, because then you don't want it to where it's going to mess up your shirt if you can't push it down, or if it's too light, especially if you have any funky spots in your press, like apparently I do. Okay, so I pre-pressed that, and now I can see the little spots of lint, and I'm just going to go back over it with my lint roller one time. I'm not going to press it again. That should be good. Okay, so where's my transfer? Alright, so now this transfer is wider than it is tall, so I'm going to flip this paper in this pressing pillow, and that should help me. Y'all, please excuse me. I have some sinus stuff going on, but we will get through it. Okay. So, I got that ready. I got that fixed. Okay. There are items that you can use to get your design in the right spot on your t-shirt, like a T-square and stuff like that. I know this might sound awful, y'all, but I do not do that. I am very good at eyeballing things, and I use my fingers and my hands to measure. So I'm just going to get this situated where I want it. If you're not good at that stuff, you can always just use a ruler. You don't have to buy anything fancy, but I mean, of course, eyeballing and things happen, like your shirt shifts and stuff. I mean, stuff has gotten crooked before, and I just remake it and go on about my day. But eyeballing does really good for me. So, okay, so now I'm going to get a piece of paper to put on the top of this. A lot of people only use paper on the top, but I use paper and a Teflon sheet, and I'll tell you why. So I think if I read this correctly, the Teflon sheet is to keep your shirt from scorching, and so before, when I was just using a Teflon sheet instead of putting the paper also, I would press a shirt, and then I noticed, especially with white shirts, if I moved to press another shirt, some of that ink transferred from the previous press that I did, from the previous transfer, onto my Teflon sheet, and then it left a spot, like, randomly wherever it was on the next shirt, and I can't, obviously that'll cost you a lot of money. You don't want to do that. So this is just what I do. Not everybody does it this way. I'm sure people would use just paper and not a Teflon sheet, and that's fine too. There's some items when you are doing sublimation that you do not use a Teflon sheet on, but for shirts I always do. Okay, so we're gonna press this. I've got it set for 45. Let me grab my coffee. Now we just wait. Alright, so this should be done, and you want to be easy when you pull, whether you use a Teflon sheet or not, when you pull the top stuff off, because it will shift your transfer if you're not using tape, which I don't, and then it will also, because the transfer in the shirt is still that hot, it will still be that gas, and it will release onto a different area of your shirt. Oh my gosh, that's precious. Okay, so my second trick, I think maybe it's my second, I don't know. In order to prevent the lines, lint roll when it's hot. So, I think one of the other designers showed me this, but you just lint roll it when it's hot. Really, really good. And, oh my gosh, I am in love with this design. Oh my gosh! Okay, sorry. So, this says chosen and treasured. Right? Yeah. Chosen and treasured. Oh my gosh, that is precious. Colors come out great. Okay, moving along to the next one. I'm going to do another white one, and then we will do the pink one to show you guys. I try to keep these in their own little cubby or whatever, so that they don't really get touched by a lot of different colors. So that prevents some of the lint from getting on them. But alright, so this is we're going to do the pink rainbow. Yes, I'm doing 2 rainbow shirts for my daughter, but she's our rainbow baby, and I love it. So, let's see if I had an extra. Usually what I do whenever I cut this, and I don't even notice that I do it anymore really, is I'll cut, and then whatever I don't use, I stick under my heat press right here on top of my toolbox. Okay, so this pressure is a little tight. I'm going to loosen it a little bit. Alright, so 5 seconds. We're going to check for lint. I see a few little spots, so we're going to get that off really good. And we got our transfer. Super cute, super cute. And we're going to press. Okay, so I'm just using my fingers to line this up because I don't know if that's a thing, but y'all, I do it every time. I don't know if I've ever used a ruler making a shirt, honestly. I have no idea. Oh man, my paper's almost out. Okay. Need to order some of that. Okay, so I'm going to get this paper. Something got on my shirt. It's okay. Get this paper. Okay, so an issue that you could run into with any kind of shirt, not just a white shirt, any shirt, is sometimes, see, gotta catch it with my thingy there. I don't have any gloves, so. Whoo! I have to loosen that again or something, because if it hurts your shoulder, it's too tight. No, for real though, one time I had this, it was right after they told me that, and I didn't want to mess anything up, and so I had the pressure super tight, and I'm pretty sure like I tore something in my shoulder. I couldn't use the heat press for like 2 weeks. It was awful. It hurt so bad. But one issue that you can come across is if you press something, it's worse on white, but it could be any color, you might end up with a little, almost like a dirty looking spot. Like it'll be brown and it'll just look dirty. And that is from any kind of oily residue or anything. Like if somebody touched the shirt with dirty hands and gave it to you, you won't see it, but the heat press will bring out those imperfections and the oily or whatever it is, ness. And, I mean, it could be the fabric, like, on the fabric whenever they're sewing the shirt together. You have no idea. So, you do not have to throw it away. I promise you. I actually hoping one of these might do it so I could show you. But, you don't have to throw it away. A little bit of water and peroxide will get that right out for you. So, don't stress. Oh, my gosh, y'all. I can't. These are so cute. Yes! Yes! I'm so sorry. I get so excited when I make stuff. I love it. And if you see, y'all, this is super easy. Like, it's not rocket science. You don't have to weed nothing. You don't have to pick nothing. I absolutely love doing sublimation. I'll probably do it forever. Let me make sure this is, let me get this situated. That way it's straight. Oh my gosh. Okay, do you see how cute that is? How precious. Okay, our last one that we're going to do this pink shirt. Okay? We have this cute little pink shirt, and we have this transfer. And if you can see this, the transfer has pink on it. It also has blue and other colors, but it has pink on it. So I just want you to see. It's almost kind of the same color pink, it looks like. But we'll see how that goes, and I want you guys to see what a color that is this color looks like on it, okay? Okay, so we're going to do the same thing, except I'm not going to too much worry about lip rolling this because it's pink and it's speckledy looking, and I'm going to pre-press. If I have like a funky something going on, then I'll lip roll it, but I ain't even going to worry about it. Now, like other lighter colors like oatmeal, sometimes like light pink or something, but this is a little bit darker. I'm not going to worry too much about it. Okay, let's see if we got a, oh yeah, this should be good enough. See, this is my scraps. The only thing that I don't like about this is I use so much paper, y'all, but the good thing is I can recycle it because I throw it over on that kitty table over there, and my kids think that it's beautiful and like to draw on it. Okay, it's the little things in life. But my kids absolutely love it. Even the transfers, they just like, oh, Mama made a pretty design. Even when, you know, I don't make them, but that I use them. So, like, none of these designs today are mine. I love supporting other designers. If anybody has something cute, I will totally buy it. I absolutely love it. Okay, so I'm lining this up. This one's a little funky neck. Okay, hold on. Alright, so we're going to line this up. Wait, I didn't even pre-press. Hold on. Let's pre-press. Back up. Skirt. With my dirty little, whatever this is called, pot holder. Alright. Pre-press. Okay, so now I'm going to line this up. And we're going to get it lined up good. Ow, I can't see. That's hot. This is going to have some funky lines in the shirt, but hopefully we can get it out. Sassy little soul. I made my daughter one of these whenever she was littler. And I bleached it, but she wasn't able to wear it long. So I love this design though, so I figured we would make her another one. Okay, where was the one sheet go? Oh, it dropped. Oh no. Oh no. Put this on here. If your Teflon sheet falls on the floor, it will pick up everything and then put it on your shirt. So make sure it's cleaned off really, really good so you don't have to worry about that. Like I said though, these colored shirts aren't that crazy. If it was white though, you probably would have seen me wiping it off with something else. And yeah, you see in this, the only thing that I had to use was I needed a transfer. I needed some blowback paper. You can use regular copy paper for that if you don't have any butcher paper. I get butcher paper off of Amazon, which they're normally in rolls, and this is at the end, but it is not in a roll. I mean it was rolled up, but there's not a paper roll in there, a cardboard. But I stick it right here. It fits perfectly underneath my heat press, even when it's full, and on this toolbox. And this is actually, like, I love this setup because I can pull it out when I need it and push it back whenever I don't. And it's slap full of all my hard sublimation blanks. This is about to go off. Alright, let's see. Ow, that's hot. Be careful doing this. A lot of people use gloves, y'all. And I don't recommend just doing it with your fingers, but I'm so used to it. Okay, so, surprisingly. Okay, so this design had, let me get my, I can't talk and work. It just does not, my brain does not function like that. Okay, so this design had a blue watercolor background. And I honestly thought that it might show up a little bit darker, but that's okay. But the pink actually showed up really, really good. But just for the sake of y'all to see a color on here, that's totally fine. Get those press marks out. Alright, let me move that so I don't burn myself. Okay, here is the finished shirt. Super cute still, even though you can't really see the watercolor over here because it's just light. But you can still see that pink. Do you see it? So honestly, with sublimation, it just depends on how the color is, what the color is, what the shade is, how dark your item that you're pressing is. But you can see a huge difference if you come and look at this one. And then you look at this one. I mean, this one obviously looks a little bit more faded because the colors aren't as bright because it's competing with the other colors in the shirt. Does that make sense? I hope y'all can see that. I love them though. My daughter's going to love them. If y'all have any questions whatsoever, drop them in the comments. Make sure you like and subscribe if you want to see more. Next time, I might go over how to make tumblers. This is just my business logo on a tumbler. But yeah, I think that would be fun. I absolutely love it. And y'all, it's almost as easy as making a shirt. Now, I say I love it. I love sublimation. Now, tumblers and me, we don't really get along. But I've learned some tips and tricks that I can share with you about how to get the perfect print, okay? So make sure you like, make sure you subscribe. If you have any questions, drop your comment down below, and I will see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.